Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. There's a question mark on Ammar Empowerment Network. It's a charity in Bridgetown, Barbados. Now, this blogger is saying that I shall let Barbadian people know, the Barbadians who are less fortunate know that going to the Ammar Empowerment Network charity in Passage Road to collect stationery and free haircut seems to be a scam. Okay, if you are hearing them saying that you should come and collect school stuff for your children and the children get a haircut, this person is saying that the way it is organized, it makes the person who's less fortunate feel badly. It's a bad feeling, okay? So they're begging people, this is what the blogger is saying, they're begging people for things to help families and elderly, and seems they're only helping themselves, okay? Up here, they give you things like you are a dog and begging for what little that they're going to give you. Even though you're less fortunate, doesn't mean that you should be treated with disrespect. I doubt anyone that went there today, meaning yesterday, Saturday, have ever been more humiliated in their life. Okay, imagine coming from St. John in the boiling sun with three children to go to White Park Road to get free haircuts for the kids in a church that is hot as hell, hot. Not even a bottle of water offered to them, okay? A lot of children here get messed up because the people cannot cut hair. But then to tell you, if you don't get a haircut or your hair plaited, you cannot get the stationery. So if you took your kids to the church and you didn't want the kids to get a haircut, they were saying that if you say no to the haircut, you can't get stationery. That's strange, isn't it? What if your kids' hair had, the design they wanted for back to school? What if, the hair was okay? Why would your kids need to get a haircut to get stationery or things for back to school? But anyhow, that was the way the Ammar Empowerment Network had it set up. Then you had to leave the church and walk 10 to 15 minutes from White Park Road to Country Road to the main office in the hot sun to collect 1 pack of pencils, 5 exercise books, 1 pencil case, 1 rubber, 1 pack of crayons, and 1 drawing book. To make matters worse, they give you the things in your hands, not a bag, like a beggar. It's like you're being treated like a beggar. Okay, so this person is saying that they paid almost near to $40 in bus fare for herself and the kids and her children, and she felt so low. Okay, people can do that. When people are giving, depending on the way you're doing it, you can actually make people feel worse off than they were before they came to you to get something from you. Okay, so there's you have to have a very high moral aptitude. You have to understand how to treat people in order to give them something and not make them feel as though they're begging. Okay, it's a skill you have to try to learn. Okay, so she felt low. She felt like a beggar. She left home with no water, and she left home after 6 a.m. for these people pretending. She's thinking that these people are pretending to help the less fortunate, and then they treat you badly. They brought out a couple of drinks and snacks after most people had left already. Okay. Let me see. Tell Ambrose and Maria, don't make big women bring. Don't bring grown people to no hot church for hours they have to make them walk so far for things that are valued for about $10. This blogger is saying that what she got in terms of stationery probably worth $10, okay? And they were on the radio for months begging for school supplies. How are you treating the less fortunate so wrong? How you make people bring small children from home with no breakfast? This is so wrong. I believe that they're hiding under the charity. That's what the blogger is saying, that she believes that they're hiding under the charity for their personal monetary gain. In no way, with all the appeals that they made, like months on CBC and whatever, VOB, whatever, months begging, and yet that's what they have to offer children. Ammar Empowerment Network in Passage Road, they need to be investigated. And this is what came, this is where the charity is. And this is what they were saying that they had to give: free back to school haircut, outreach, haircuts, hair plaits, stationery. And they were saying that the people who were doing the haircuts were messing up people's hair, okay? These are the directors: Ambrose and Maria Carter. She's swearing that, I asked her to swear to her statements. And she swore that, what she said was true. And to reach out and ask anyone who went there, what was the feedback? What was the feedback? You had to walk in the hot sun. How long you had to wait to get a little something for your children. She had to walk up with the book. She had to walk all up to the bus stand with books in her hand, and end up on the ends of things they gave her. She saw some families getting school bags, and those families that got the school bags, she's saying, actually looked more fortunate than the ones who really needed the help. See, they need highlighting because they were on CPC and VOB and social media collecting things. And people feel that this particular blogger feels as though she was humiliated, okay? Okay, so that's this blog, and it's related to the charity Ammar Empowerment Network. And people said, this blogger has said that with what she got from this particular charity, it wasn't worth it, because she paid all of the bus fare to get there, walking in the hot sun, being in a hot church, being around people who say they're cutting hairs like barbers or whatever, and they're messing your children's hair up, and then to have to walk to another facility. The church was one thing, the haircuts, then you had to walk to the office then to get the stationery. They're playing games. They're playing games. That stationery and everything could have been there, that after you got the haircut, you go to another table and pick up the stationery. You shouldn't have to walk through no sun and to a different area completely to pick up stationery. They're playing games. That's what they do when they're dealing with slaves. And this lady wasn't having it. She's not having that slave vibe. That slave vibe rubbed her really the wrong way, okay? It rubbed her wrong. So you need to come better. You need to do better when you're dealing with people, okay? This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.